Guys, here we are, Star Wars Episode 9. It's all coming to an end. I can't believe it. I feel like a piece of my childhood is going with it.
How old were you when you first saw it?
You know what? It's interesting. When I first saw Star Wars, actually I saw Empire first. And I actually only thought that was the only Star Wars movie. I didn't know there was anything else. And as a kid,
didn't have any friends who discussed
No,
things?
I was like 7.
Right.
Right. And I had no idea there was any other Star Wars movies. And I was like, this ends really bizarre. Like the bad guys kind of win. Then when I was like 10, I realized there was A New Hope, and then I fell in love with the whole franchise. But
Wow.
C-3PO gets one of the most emotional beats, it seems like, in this movie. Did you automatically agree with what JJ wanted to do with the character?
Generally not, no. We have completely divergent ideas. Yes, of course. But we had talked about it a lot in the beginning, and I quite simply asked him for something to do with this movie. And he more than gave me that. And what I love about that line about taking one last look, sir, at my friends,
I'm going to start crying now.
Okay. Was we shot it and he edited it exactly the way I did it, which was a great honor. And it actually was very moving on the set. And then I made myself kind of a bit weepy watching it. It's a bit sad, really, isn't it?
Oh,
in a general sense.
The whole film is full of emotion and such heart.
Now, we spoke it solo, but the question for you, this is the first time you're doing this without Peter kind of around with you in your guidance. And now you are the custodian of this character. Can you talk to me about why Chewbacca is such a fundamental part of this franchise?
I think it has to do with the totality of Star Wars, and then that he's been that presence on screen. And when we've watched this journey, the galaxies and the lightspeed hyperdrives, and Chewbacca has been there, not necessarily making a lot of too much noise about himself, but he's been there. And he's unique. People believe he's a creature.
He's a very comforting companion.
I think so.
I literally saw Chewbacca downstairs and hugged him, and I said, "Thank you, Chewbacca." Like, you're right. To me, it's
Exactly.
like a real thing. Now, I've always found Star Wars to be the story of two droids. To me, that's what the whole franchise is about, the story of two droids. And for this to finally come to an end, now you get to kind of see it from a fan's perspective. How is that for you?
It feels very good because now the whole thing is complete. I can actually pull back and begin to understand parts of the story I didn't understand. But the fans have always got it because they're seeing it from the different angle. Right. But now I'm beginning to become a fan, if you like. And they've been right pretty much all along. I just didn't have the chance to see it that way. But to follow George's idea of the common man that goes, has no power, is put upon by everything around him. That's pretty much how we all are. And it's one reason that the 3PO and R2 appeal to the general audience, that they kind of empathize with these two poor characters.
Sure. Now, I have a feeling that you probably can continue. You're going to continue on this franchise, whether it be in another film or on the Disney Plus side of things. But are you ready for this to end? Like the journey?
I think it makes sense. It has always made sense to end it at 9, and I love the plan of ending the Skywalker saga.
Sure.
I think it needs to have the circle close and the closure.
It's a pretty brave thing to do, to actually.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, and it's hard to wrap something, but Chris Terrio and JJ, one very traversed in Star Wars and from Force Awakens, and one Chris Terrio who came in new. They just created this story, and it really answers the call, and we're gonna be very I think fulfilled coming from this film.
They both come from a position of deep love of the story from when they were kids, so they've got it right.